Hello, today I'm going to be walking you through two circuits that I like to use in Rust. One is the ABBS, otherwise known as the Automatic Backup Battery System, and the other is the LTTC, the Laser Triggered Target Trap Circuit. So let's start with the ABBS. Let's say you have a power source, a solar panel for example. We like to move that power into this electrical branch. This electrical branch is set to 2 because output A will be moving to the block signal of this blocker. That only needs a power signal of 1 or 2, I think it's 1. So this needs to be kept at the minimum of 2. The rest of the power coming in should be moving through this output, output B. This is moving into another branch. Now this branch is set to 10 because output A will be moving down into this small battery. That can only accept a maximum input of 10. The rest of the electricity will be moving through output B over into this XOR gate. This XOR gate will then pass through the rest of that electricity to the rest of whatever circuit you have on the other end of this wire. Now let's say I don't have a power source, say a solar panel, because it's nighttime or my solar panel is in shade. So therefore this is receiving no power. Nothing is coming this way, nothing is being sent to the blocker, and therefore it is allowing pass-through. That pass-through is coming from this output of the battery. So this battery is now being drained, being sent this way, power is being allowed through the XOR gate because it's only receiving one input and being sent to the rest of your battery. Now bear in mind, a small battery is limited to an output of 10 as well as an input of 10. So if you want your circuit to work at night time and it requires more than, let's say, 9 energy, 9 output, you're going to want to create a series of batteries. That requires, say, 5 batteries. The charging wire should be split using, let's say, branches or maybe a splitter, and each of those split wires should go into the input of each battery. Now the outputs of those batteries you're going to want to hook up in a series of root combiners and then pass them back into this blocker. So if you say you have 5 batteries, you'll have a maximum input of 50 and a maximum output of 50 as well. So let's say your circuit requires 40 energy, you're going to want maybe 4 or 5 small batteries in a series connection. So I think that concludes the ABBS. Let's move on to the LTTC, the laser triggered trap circuit. So we have an output power source going from here. This can be whatever you want. Maybe it's that, maybe it's a windmill, whatever. It's being passed, this electricity is being passed this way into this electrical branch. We have this branch set at an output of 2 for output A because that output is simply going to come over here to this laser. That requires an input of 2 because it uses 1, and when it's got a player in it, it needs that extra 1 to output a signal. So we'll get back to that output signal in a minute. The rest of the electricity, as output A is the minimum, is being passed through to this other branch. This is also set to 2. That's because output A is only going to this timer. That only requires an input of, I think, 1 energy in order to function. So therefore the rest of the energy can be passed this way. This way is coming over to a memory cell, which when it's set to nothing, it's unset, let's say, it's outputting all of your energy over to this way to another branch. Now this branch is set to 2 because this output A will be going to this door controller. That only requires an input of 1 or 2, whatever it is, in order to function, and we're only using this as our lure. This is the door that the player will walk through in order to get to whatever lure loot you have left there. Now this laser in a real scenario would be inside here, so that when the player walks through this door to get to that supposed loot, they'll pass that laser and trigger the trap. So, yeah, that covers that. So what happens is the output of the laser, when triggered, heads in through here, out through here because I'm triggering it, comes all the way over to this memory cell. That goes to the set input, which then says, okay, stop using this inverted output and start passing through this positive output. That then takes the electricity from the rest of this circuit and instead passes it through here. This goes into a branch. The first branch, set to 2, is going to our first door controller. The rest of the electricity is being passed through here. Similar thing, output A, set to 2, going to our second door controller. The rest of the electricity being passed through output B into another electricity branch, and so on and so forth. However many doors you want to open will be dependent on how much electricity you have being passed into the circuit, and also how many electrical branches you want to deal with, as well as how many doors you want to deal with, really. So as you can see from this circuit, we have spare output of 85. Maybe you want to hook this into a battery or into another circuit, whatever you want. So as you can see, when the trap is triggered, a player will be in there. Let's say these 3 walls are in fact doorways such as these with shotgun traps behind. They'll come in, trigger the trap, door will close behind them, the other doors will open, and the shotgun traps will blow them to hell. Then you, as the player, can come over here, open this, loot their body, close it back up, come over here to the timer, which is used to reset the whole system. So as you can see, the shotgun trap doors, they closed, the lure door, that opened up again. I'm a strange player. I went, ooh, that's some loot. I'll come inside here. Let's just pretend I got inside. I'll be tricked into being in this room. These will open and blow me away. Now I do think that concludes the LTTC. Any other questions, leave a comment. I'm sure I can explain the system. But yeah, I think that covers both circuits. So that'll be all for today. This is Skillbear. Goodbye.